Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Miss Abate here. So we're going to do part 2 of our problem and solution comprehension skill. Okay, so if you remember from our first lesson, a problem is something that is wrong, something that happened that isn't right in the story, and a solution is how that problem was solved. Okay, what was the best way to kind of make that problem better again? Okay. So we're going to go into our wonders text today, and we're going to look at the text, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go ahead and get started with this. It doesn't. Let me make sure that you're able to see this. Give me 1 second. If you're able to see it, I do apologize, and you're just waiting on me to get started. Okay, sorry, like I said, I just had to make sure you guys were able to see it. Okay, so as you read or reread The Boy Who Cried Wolf, think about the plot. Is the plot about a problem? Is there a solution? To tell if there's a problem, read the beginning of the story and decide if something is wrong. To find the solution, think about how the characters solve the problem by the end of the story. Okay, so that's really key, is that a problem is going to be stated or told at the beginning of a text, and a solution is going to be explained at the end of it. Okay? All right. So first, I want you to make sure you have something to write with and something to write on. So if you don't have that, please go ahead and get that now. All right, so I want you to make your paper look like this graphic organizer on here. So at the top, make a skinny triangle, or it's not a triangle. Oh boy, a skinny rectangle. Okay, obviously don't make it too small because you need to be able to write in it. Okay, then underneath of that, write a little bit larger of a rectangle. And underneath of that, make a skinny box rectangle again. On your first rectangle, write the word problem, middle box, steps to solutions, and last box, solution. So if you need more time, please pause the video and get that done. But we are going to move on. All right. The directions say, read the passage from The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Highlight text that tells about the problem. Write this information in the graphic organizer. Use the Think Aloud to help you. So first, you're just going to go ahead and put whatever you're writing with down, and you're just going to listen right now, okay? All right, so first thing we need to do is reread the passage. Long ago, a shepherd boy sat on a hilltop watching the village sheep. He was not fond of his job. He didn't like it one bit. He would have liked something wonderful to happen, but nothing remarkable ever did. The shepherd boy watched the clouds move softly by to stay busy. He saw horses, dogs, and dragons in the sky. He made up stories with these things as characters. Okay, so we just read about a little problem that this boy was having. Okay, so in the beginning of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, I read about a problem. The boy was bored. To entertain himself, the boy cried wolf when there was no wolf. Okay, so we just read that he didn't like his job, he wasn't fond of it, he wanted something wonderful to happen. So what is the problem? The problem is the shepherd boy is bored. Right, that's the problem. The shepherd boy is bored. Okay, so we can add a little bit more to the boy is bored. The shepherd boy is bored, excuse me, because we know from this story that he did something that was a problem because he was bored, right? So there's a little bit more to the problem. So let's keep reading this page. And I know that we all know what the problem is, what he did because he was bored. That wasn't the right thing to do. But let's reread it anyways, and let's add to the problem, okay? Then one day he had a better idea. He took a deep breath and cried out, "Wolf, wolf! The wolf is chasing the sheep." The villagers ran up the hill to help the boy. When they got there, they saw no harmful wolf. The boy laughed. "Shepherd boy, don't cry wolf unless there really is a wolf," said the villagers. They went back down the hill. So friends, what was the second part to this problem? Other than he was bored, what did he do? Yes, he cried wolf when there is no wolf. Yes, that's a problem, right? Oh my goodness, that is not okay for him to do. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to write the problem down right up here on the screen under your, or excuse me, inside your problem rectangle. Pause the video and do that now. All right. So now we're going to focus on steps to the solution. So I know our first video didn't talk about steps to the solution, but this is just going to help us have a better understanding as to how to find the solution in any text. Okay, so we're going to reread this passage. We're going to highlight the steps that the villagers took to make the boy stop crying wolf. Okay, so what were the steps? So the problem again, the shepherd boy is bored, he cries wolf, and there is no wolf. Okay, so I know we all know what the solution is in this story because we're all very familiar with this story. But let's reread and find what the villagers did to help the shepherd boy solve his problem. Okay. That afternoon, the boy again cried out, "Wolf, wolf! The wolf is chasing the sheep." The villagers ran to help the boy again. They saw no wolf. The villagers were angry. "Don't cry wolf when there is no wolf," they said. The shepherd boy just smiled. The villagers went quickly down the hill again. So boys and girls, I want you to think about what did the villagers do here to help the shepherd boy try to solve his problem? Right. They tried to tell him, the right thing to do. They tried to say, well, let's not do that, okay? Because that's not the right thing to do. Just like, if you do something at home and it wasn't the right thing, maybe you spill. I'm just going to use that example that we used in the first video. You spilled your drink. Right? Your parents are going to try and give you, your grown-ups, whoever you live with, are going to try and help you so that way you don't do it again. They're going to say, well, hold the cup with both hands and walk slowly. So they're trying to give you steps as to how to solve it. Okay, so steps to solution. Let's go ahead and let's write down. I want you to do this with me. We're going to write the villagers tried to tell the shepherd boy not to cry wolf when there is no wolf. Wolf. I just want to spell it correctly. So go ahead and write that down in your middle box. The villagers try to tell the shepherd boy not to cry wolf when there is no wolf, right? Okay, pause the video and get that written down if you don't already have it written down. All right. So we are going to read another part of the text and we're going to add to that steps to solution. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this because it doesn't carry over. Okay, so there's another step that the villagers took to again try and teach the boy not to cry wolf. So let's read and see what that solution, or excuse me, the step to the solution was. That afternoon, the boy saw a real wolf. He did not want the wolf to grab any of the sheep. The boy thought the wolf would snatch one of them for a delicious, tasty meal. A sheep would be a big feast for a wolf. He quickly jumped to his feet and cried, "Wolf, wolf!" The villagers thought he was tricking them again, so they did not come. So what was the other step to the solution other than the villagers tried to tell the shepherd boy not to cry wolf when there was no wolf? What was the other step they tried to take? Or they tried to, teach him? Yeah, they just didn't show up. And, I think they were doing this to, basically teach him a lesson, right? They didn't show up because they thought he was tricking them, and they're like, well, we're not going to play this game, right? The villagers didn't show up. All right, so make sure you have that written down as well. All right, we're going to move on to the last section, the solution. How was all of this solved? All right, ready? That night, the shepherd boy did not return with their sheep. The villagers found the boy weeping real tears. There really was a wolf here, he said. The flock ran away. When I cried out, wolf, wolf, no one came. Why didn't you come? A kind man talked to the boys. They walked slowly back to the village. In the morning, we'll help you look for the sheep, he said. You have just learned one of life's important lessons. This is something you need to know. Nobody believes a person who tells lies. It is always better to tell the truth. So, what was the solution here, right? How was the boy crying wolf when there was no wolf? That was the problem, right? And how was it solved? Well, again, in the first video that we listened to, there can be more than one solution, right? So we can say the villagers are going to help the boy look for the sheep in the morning, right? Oh, I'm not going to have enough room to write all this down, okay? I don't know why it's not letting me, type where I want to type, but that's okay. This is being silly. Sorry about that. But what was the other solution too? Is he needs to learn to tell the truth. So the boy learned to tell the truth. That was the solution to this story. All right, boys and girls, you did a wonderful job with today's lesson. You rocked that. I know you're going to do a great job finding more problems and solutions in stories that you read, because there are, in most stories that we do read, you're able to find a problem and you're able to find the solution within that story. And again, sometimes there's going to be more than one problem, more than one solution throughout the story. Okay? All right. Did a great job today, and I'll see you guys next time.